What kind of worship pleases God and what kind of worship angers God? By John Calvin. This is a reason why the prophet says that the wickedness of Israel was Samaria, that thence arose all iniquities. But we must at the same time bear in mind that the prophet speaks not here of gross crimes, but on the contrary, he directs his reproof against ungodly and perverted forms of worship. And this appears more evident from the second clause, in which he mentions transgressions in connection with the high places. We hence see that all sins in general are not here reproved, but their vicious modes of worship, by which religion had been polluted among the Jews as well as the Israelites. But it might seem very unjust that the prophet should charge with sin those forms of worship in which the Jews laboriously exercised themselves with the object of pacifying God. But we see how God regards as nothing whatever men blend with his worship out of their own heads. And this is our principal contest at this day with the papists. We call their perverted and spurious modes of worship abominations. They think that what is heavenly is to be blended with what is earthly. We diligently labor, they say, for this end, that God may be worshipped. True, but at the same time you profane his worship by your inventions, and it is, therefore, an abomination. We now then see how foolish and frivolous are those delusions when men follow their own wisdom in the duty of worshipping God. For the prophet here, in the name of God, fulminates, as it were, from heaven against all superstitions, and shows that no sin is more detestable than that preposterous caprice with which idolaters are inflamed when they observe such forms of worship as they themselves invented. Now, with regard to the high places, we must notice that there was a great difference between the Jews and the Israelites at that time as to idolatry. The Israelites had so fallen that they were altogether degenerated. Nothing could be seen among them that had an affinity to the true and legitimate worship of God. But the Jews had retained some form of religion. They had not thus abandoned themselves, but yet they had a mixture of superstitions, such as one would find were he to compare the gross popery of this day with that middle course, which those men invent who seem to themselves to be very wise, fearing, forsooth, as they do, the offenses of the world, and hence they form for us a mixture, I know not what, from the superstitions of the papacy and from the Reformation, as they call it. Something like this was a mixture at Jerusalem. We, however, see that the prophet pronounces the same sentence against the Jews and the Israelites, and that is that God will allow nothing that proceeds from the inventions of men to be joined to his word. Since then God allows no such mixtures, the prophet here says that there was no less sin on the high places of Judea than there was in those filthy abominations which were then dominant among the people of Israel. John Calvin, Commentary on Micah.
Still Waters Revival Books is now located at PuritanDownloads.com. It's your worldwide online Reformation home for the very best in free and discounted classic and contemporary, Puritan and Reformed books, MP3s, and videos. For much more information on the Puritans and Reformers, including the best free and discounted classic and contemporary books, MP3s, digital downloads, and videos, please visit Still Waters Revival Books at PuritanDownloads.com. Still Waters Revival Books also publishes the Puritan Hard Drive, the most powerful and practical Christian study tool ever produced. All thanks and glory be to the mercy, grace, and love of the Lord Jesus Christ for this remarkable and wonderful new Christian study tool. The Puritan Hard Drive contains over 12,500 of the best Reformation books, MP3s, and videos ever gathered onto one portable Christian study tool. An extraordinary collection of Puritan, Protestant, Calvinistic, Presbyterian, Covenanter, and Reformed Baptist resources. It's fully upgradable and it's small enough to fit in your pocket. The Puritan Hard Drive combines an embedded database containing many millions of records with the most amazing and extraordinary custom Christian search and research software ever created. The Puritan Hard Drive has been produced to assist you in the fascinating and exhilarating spiritual, intellectual, familial, ecclesiastical, and societal adventure that is living the Christian life. It has been specifically designed so that you might more faithfully know, serve, and love the Lord Jesus Christ, as well as to help you to do all you can to bring glory to His great name. If you want to love God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind, then the Puritan Hard Drive is for you. Visit PuritanDownloads.com today for much more information on the Puritan Hard Drive and to take advantage of all the free and discounted Reformation and Puritan books, MP3s, and videos that we offer at Still Waters Revival Books.